Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time with Chelten. Today I am going to talk about the Toledo Repertoire Theatre, which is in downtown Toledo, Ohio. This location is amazing, and they are going to have a public ghost hunt in October of this year, 2018. I really encourage people to go to this. Not only are your ticket that you purchase, not only do you get to see their play with their actors and stuff, and afterwards you get to do a public ghost hunt, but all the money that is spent goes right to the Toledo Repertoire Theatre. And this location is filled with history, and it is also filled with some really cool ghost stories. There was a death on this property where a house used to sit before the Toledo Repertoire Theatre, and this was a young child who stepped off the curb onto a street in a long time ago. I want to say the late 1800s, early 1900s. Anyway, so she stepped off the street into the dirt road, and a streetcar hit her and dragged her for a long time. The newspaper actually reported that her mother witnessed this, and by the time the car was stopped, they called it, her body was ground beef, pretty much. It was ground so badly that they could only identify her by these scraps of clothing that had remained on her. So very, very sad story. Incredibly enough, when we have done our investigations in this location, there's a young child that has followed me around, and I've been there about 3 times doing investigations. And there's a young child that follows me around in there and calls me mommy and tries to get my attention on EVP, on digital recordings. And I'd like to kind of think that maybe it's that little girl that's following me around thinking I look like her mother or something. It's heartbreaking to hear it, but at the same time, it's really cool to hear it as well. They also have a female presence up in the attic area, which has been heard on EVPs, and she has also been heard with people's own ears, actors and staff members. She does not like the light turned on. And apparently a few times when the light had been turned off by somebody, they had heard her say thank you out loud. We have had quite a lot of experiences in this location. We have had movements of things, like we would put something down and it would be on camera and we see it there, we see it's being put down, we all leave that location, and then all of a sudden it disappears and it's gone and it appears someplace else. And this is on camera. I mean, it has been baffling. We have no idea how in the world it has happened. We have tried to debunk a million different ways. It's been a really interesting piece of evidence trying to figure that one out. We have also had, there's a story of somebody in the basement area, the green room, that also moves objects. And he's kind of like the prankster. And he's also in the theater area. He likes watching the plays. A lot of stories about him. Moving items, keys, bottles, different things like that. Everybody there that has experienced these 3 spirits can't talk enough about how friendly they are and how not threatening. I mean, it makes them nervous. Sometimes they don't like being there because they know all of a sudden they're not alone, and all of a sudden they feel it or hear it or something and it startles them. That's understandable. But they also all agreed that it is a very friendly group of spirits. So nothing ever threatening there. However, right across the street from there, which is owned by the Toledo Repertoire Theatre, there is a building which is called the Brown Building. And that has props and clothes, and that's where they do their rehearsals, and it's storage area also over there. Now, in that location, we had an investigation, and I think this investigation really startled our cameramen. I walked into a room where somebody else had been before me, and apparently they had heard growling with their own ears. Now, nobody told me this before I went in. And I actually had a cameraman behind me, and I also had somebody's child that was kind of following me into the location. So I'm walking into this room, and suddenly something kind of comes over me where it just doesn't feel friendly. It doesn't feel good at all. And I look behind me, and I told the child, I suggest you not come in here. It doesn't feel good. I think there's a negative in here. And I had the child leave, and I told the cameraman, I said, keep on me. I'm going to try to track down this negative and feel out where it is. So we go over to this closet area, and I'm telling the cameraman, just keep the camera going. Just keep showing it. I'm going to put my hand in the closet. I can feel it's there. So I put my hand into the closet, and I wasn't looking forward to that. I was, kind of nervous about it. And the cameraman was clearly nervous. He was a bit shaky. And I put my hand into the closet, and I was scratched pretty deeply from just about my elbow down to the knuckles on my hands. Raised red scratches. And I kind of jumped back, and it was all on camera, and thank God it was caught. And we stopped. We talked about it with the group and stuff, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to continue tracking down this negative and trying to get a feel for where it is. Now, I'm going to make it clear it was a negative. I don't think it was a demonic type of presence at all. So I just want to make that very clear. There are spirits out there that are negative spirits that are just grumpy, mean spirits. And that's what it was. Again, if you're in life, you're a grumpy bastard, pretty much. That's what you're going to be in death. And that's exactly what we ran into. So that was... I want to say around midnight that had happened. So anyway, I'm following this negative on camera again, and I track it into this kitchen area. And I told the cameraman, keep on me, keep watching this. I'm going to put my other arm out, get this on camera. And he was very, very shaky, and his voice was kind of shaky. But I put my arm out, and I showed the camera nothing's on my arm, and I put my arm out, and I could feel it reaching back at me. And I said, here it comes. And it again scratched my other arm. So after that, I told it to be at peace. Pretty much left it alone. We gathered to talk about what had happened, and I just kind of left it alone and told it to be at peace. And then a little bit later on, since the rep people were there, and I let them know what was happening, they asked me to bless the area. So I did, and I asked that negative to be at peace and go where it needs to go. And it felt good again. It felt fine. But as I always tell people, blessings expire, and if you want something to leave that happens to be there, especially if it's a strong entity, you have to bless that area at least every day, or it does return. So maybe it returns with a better attitude next time, but it does return. So those were some of our experiences at the Toledo Repertoire Theatre and the Brown Building. And as I said, the Toledo Repertoire Theatre has a public ghost hunt coming up very soon, and we really hope that you will come out and experience some of the things that we experience. I think you're going to have a wonderful time. It's a great play. It's going to be a Halloween type of theme. I think it's called Slasher, and it's going to be a fantastic time, guys. Come on out, get your ghost hunting experience and stuff on, bring your equipment. I think the ages are from 12 years old and up. Are welcome. So come on out. Come see if you can catch what we can catch. If you are great with children's spirits, come out and see if you can communicate with this child. And we would love to see if we can find out what these spirits' names are. So if you guys can get that on EVP, please share that on our Facebook page. And also share that on the Repertoire Theater's Facebook page. As always, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube page. So thanks so much for watching this short video. We hope to see you at the Toledo Repertoire Theatre this October. Happy hauntings, guys.